Hello, friends. We should be going now. What's up? Oh, is Kick doing the fucking thing again? Why does Kick always do this when it's this? I'm gonna see. I'm gonna watch Kick for a minute, guys. Yep, channel just went offline. Why? Why do you do this restream? Is it because my set it did it again? The Kick stream just keeps dropping. I don't know why. There's no reason for it. And it only does it with the weekly sip. Why does it do this? It doesn't do it during the gaming streams. Coffee, guys, coffee. I don't know what I can do about it, dude. Fuck. Okay, I'll just turn off Kick for now. Again. I don't know, man. I gotta figure something out. Maybe I'm like streaming at too high a bit rate. But my computer and my internet's fucking awesome. Can I change it midstream? Will it change? It did change. Okay. Okay, now that I've changed it midstream, how about I turn on Kick now? Stream like a slightly lower quality to Kick. Go, Kick! What's going on? Hey, the YouTube guys just showed up. I'm on YouTube, Kick, hopefully, and Twitch. Is Kick stable now? Sip the coffee, guys. Sip the coffee. Always sip. It's too woke to get its own site to work. I don't think Kick is woke. It seems like Kick is stable now. I just needed to lower the bit rate. Yeah. $2 from Starhawks. I really enjoyed your last video, bud. Keep it up. Thanks, buddy. Very appreciated. So, how is everyone doing? I do want to grow my Kick and Twitch eventually. I don't know how to do it though, Tidge. I don't know how to do it. So what are you guys doing? How'd you guys like the video? Any complaints? Or did you guys like it? I don't know. Let me know. So what's up with you? I have a whole Asker GF. Guys, don't you fucking dare make that a thing. Coffee's great. So, what have y'all been doing? Tell Naomi to move your pegging to after the sip. Fuck you, Rusta. And $2. Did the commie like your video? The commie? Oh, you mean the two people that I criticized in the recent in the recent video? You're making fun of Lance is always great. Here's something though. Here's a situation though. Let me fill you in on some things, okay, guys? Let me fill you in. Oh no, Disco Elysium is a walking simulator, yes, but it's a very good walking simulator. The writing is great, and you can actually like there's a lot of width to the story. Your choices actually matter. It's very good. It's actually very good. Might need to combat the copyright strike in the video. Thanks, Zoki. Thanks, buddy. Okay, so a couple things, right? Firstly, making fun of Lance is easy. He's kind of a brainlet. He doesn't He really doesn't get things. He really doesn't get things. I do think that the other chick, what was her name? Dead Domain, Dead Discord, something like that. I think she seemed actually smarter than Lance, that's for sure. I think she had her head on her shoulders more than Lance. But there was still some obvious issues with her views, right? Like so I know that she spent like 6 hours streaming about me yesterday. She like started the stream up once I put the video out and she didn't stop, and it's like, okay, dude, all right. I guess I ruffled a feather or two. But I didn't watch it cuz I don't have fucking 6 hours to do that shit, you know? But a couple things is I do know that some of my viewers did watch. In fact, there's one guy, was it Afrofry? Afrofry in Twitch. I think he might have like been watching her stream and like pushing back on it, and like watching her stream pushing back on me. Maybe he even got banned. I don't know. But I was sent a few clips. From her reaction. And a lot of her reaction is basically what I expected. It was like a lot of it was, no, the problem's capitalism, without like, she didn't really address what I was saying. She just said, that's capitalism, obviously. That's capitalism. Right wing bad, left wing good. That's capitalism. Like, that was her view, right? Some of it, however, was her accusing me of what I accused her of doing. And that kind of gets into a weird, like, Spider-Man no you pointing situation where, like, she said that I give the left absolutely no nuance while granting the right all of this nuance. But she does the same thing, right? Like, she doesn't give the right any nuance, but she grants the left that nuance. It's one of those things where it's like, it turns out both sides are actually quite nuanced, you know? On the left, you have a whole bunch of different factions that don't agree, right? The authoritarian socialists don't agree with the democratic socialists, right? The soc dems aren't socialists at all. The syndicalists are a different thing. The primitivists are a different thing. The anarchists are a different thing, right? The left has a whole bunch of political factions within it that, even though they operate under the same psychology and are moving towards more or less the same goal, they don't agree politically, and they will not. They're not like united on the ground, at least not consistently. And on the right wing, it's the same thing, right? If you look at the right wing, you have like classical conservatives, you have traditionalists, you have neocons, you have libertarians, you have like ethno-nationalists, you have like even among like the fascist types, right? You have like there's a huge divide between the people who are like race scientists, who are all about genetics and IQ and like racial superiority from a scientific perspective, and then you have the people who are cultists, who are cultural, who are people who are like, who believe that their culture is like morally superior. You have people who you have people who like, there's like a spiritual element to their racism, where there's like a race of the spirit, and the blood has a spirit. Like there's different factions within all of these large political blocks, and these factions tend not to like each other. And there's infinite amount, not infinite, there's a very wide variety of diversity of thought on the left and the right. And neither side is really willing to give the other its due. I adopted a more right-wing position than I usually hold when I was making that video, specifically because I was replying to leftists. Which by the way, I said directly at the end of the video. Local Raven says, Dev, you lose at debates because you don't go for the kill. Twitch debaters obviously consider moral condemnation the victory stroke. Yeah, but I'm not like that. Anyway, there's just, man, there's a whole bunch of different ideas floating around out there, and it's not as simple as like, you know, one group is a monolith and one group has diversity of thought. They both have diversity of thought. Yeah. Karl Max blocked me, fellas. Karl Max blocked me. The debate arc is over. I trolled him too hard on Twitter. Trolled too close to the sun. Change your political ideology depending on who you're trolling based. Ticonderoga says some old dude thought I was a girl at the McDonald's restroom yesterday. Yeah, I saw you saying that on Denziel's stream, dude. I saw you saying that on Denziel's stream. Wait, why is everyone saying congrats? Hey guys, well thanks for the congrats. Oh, because I made him block me. Okay. Here's the thing, like, I'm like soft pro Israel. I'm not like hard pro Israel, but I'm soft pro Israel at the end of the day. And the whole thing is like a fucking trash fire, that whole fucking thing. Oh, another thing that people sent me who were watching. Another thing people sent me was a collection of clips where I would like the part in the video where I was reading out Christopher Latch's philosophy on like the conservative opposition to capitalism, like free market capitalism, right? And she was like sitting there like with like this confused look on her face listening to it. Like up until this point she had been like going hard on me and saying, no, you're wrong with this, and you're wrong. She was listening to this and she was just like, what? And she was listening to it, and at the end of the day she was like, I don't understand. And then she just said, this isn't relevant, why are you bringing this up, right? Like, why are you talking about this philosophy, why are you bringing it up? And then like the same thing when I brought up James Burnham's book Managerial Revolution. You know, lots of not understanding, lots of asking why I brought it up. So that was funny. But then the person who was sending me these clips sent me another clip, and this was when I didn't go into detail on George Sorel, and I just like smugly said she hasn't read George Sorel. Like, that's a joke for my community. I know you guys know what that means because you've been watching my videos. That is not something for like people outside of this group right here to understand. But I know you guys know what that means. So I put that in there as like a joke for us, right? And she complained that I didn't expand on George Sorel's philosophy. And I'm like, hold on. I expanded on the philosophy of two other people. And you were like, what's the relevance? What's the relevance? This doesn't make any sense. Why are you doing this? Why are you getting this deep into it? And then like when I actually don't explain, she complains that I don't. It's, oh my God, the hypocrisy. It was great. It was excellent. God damn. Adherent Lady Columbia, $10. Hey, Dev, I was wondering if you watched the Conservatives for Stagnation discussion by ARI. I think it's a good critique of rights, critique of progress, which devolves to a right to stagnate. I agree with that, right? So I actually agree with you that you have like this critique of progress on the right, which does lead to stagnation. And people say conservatives or progressives going the speed limit as if that's an insult. It's actually not. You want to be somebody who is a progressive going the speed limit, because if you go the speed limit, you can tell if there's a disaster coming up ahead and adjust accordingly, right? So it's not that conservatives are progressives going the speed limit. That doesn't mean, or it shouldn't mean, that you're just going to the same place. You're just going to take longer to get there. What that means is that you won't have all the disasters that progressives have as you try to make things better. So it actually is a good idea to be a conservative going the speed limit, or a progressive going the speed limit. That's actually a good idea, unironically. Food shops and boots annoyed me, and how they thought not understanding the philosophy of your setting is somehow a rebuttal. Listen, food shops is just a fucking like a fucking sleepy stoner. All right, boots is actually retarded, like unironically. Emperor Creatine, $5. Hey guys, Young Ye here. Popular opinion. Sony's the best company ever. Please give me voice rolls. I'll see you soon. Young out. Dude, fuck Young Ye. See you later, Miss Sparkles. Have fun. Her elephant ran rampage? Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so like, here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. Thing is that most progressing towards the speed limit are also going towards disaster, just slower. Yeah, but here's the thing. If you believe that down the road there is only disaster and there's no actual like roads that lead somewhere good, that's how you're going to view it, right? But there are roads that lead good places, right? Very clearly there are, because 100 years ago we didn't have modern technology and our lives are better for a lot of modern technology. So clearly there's places we can go that progress but also make things better at the same time. And that's kind of what I mean, is that there are some roads that go towards disasters. There are some turnoffs that go towards good places. If you're a progressive, you're going too fast to see the turnoff. So a progressive going the speed limit is actually what you need. Oh, I do have some articles, and I'll get into them in a minute, for sure. I'll get into them in a minute, fellas. Oh, fuck. I'm just stretching right now. Oh. Okay. So, all of you, where's that analogy from? You hear it a lot on the right wing. Progressives going the speed limit. Like, here, I'll do a quick search. I think like the dissident right says it a lot. Yeah. Oh man, what's a great? Okay, hold on. Maybe I can show you. Okay. I find it. There's a Stone Toss comic about it. Can I fucking find it? It's like Stone Toss, real racist, something like that. Where is it? You know the one where it's like an elephant? Yeah, here we go. Okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. Okay, I found it. Okay, I'll bring it up. Sorry for the iFunny banner. I gotta be cringe, sorry. Yeah. Democrats are the real racists. And then in the future, neo-Leninists are the real transphobes. So, like, this is the Republican Party today. This is the Republican Party in, let's say, 100 years, right? And very clearly, the Republican Party of 100 years is, they are far left. They look like they're far left to us today, but they look far right to the people of the future where things have shifted very, very far leftward. So the idea is that people on the dissident right, so we're talking people like Academic Agent, or people who are like Nick Fuentes might say this or something, people who are very far right, they will say things like conservatives are progressives going the speed limit. Actually, I've even heard Sargon say this. Conservatives are progressives going the speed limit. And this is the idea they're appealing to, is that basically, even though this is today's leftist, eventually the right wing, given enough time, will become the leftist, because the left will keep pushing left, the right will keep being dragged left, and so you have a situation where today's left winger is actually conservative tomorrow. It's that sort of thing. The issue with this point of view is that, I mean, it's kind of true. There's some truth to this for sure, especially as the left wing radicalizes. There is some truth to this for sure, but also the analogy of progressives going the speed limit, it implies that all progress, all change, all advancement must necessarily lead to this position. And I don't believe that that's true. I think we can have some good things that come with progress, like technological advancement, like political advancement, but that don't lead to nonsense like this. And that's because when you're driving on a road, there's many different ways to go, right? And if you're driving the speed limit, then you can see where you should be going. That's how I view it anyway. Oh man, coffee. Adherent to Lady Columbia. Thanks for $10. The problem is we see that the left and right take up the material and moral progress and see them as separate. For humanity to better itself, both are required for humanity to reach its maximum potential. Yeah, probably. I think that's probably true. Yeah. Real Holstein, $9 or $10. Hey Dev, how's it going? I tried to send a super chat on last night on the Archcast about the non-monogamy of Sooners. You mean Zoomers? That you relatively brought up. By the time it was read, you had left. Oh no! Sorry, dude. I was already out of there. Listen, Holtznader, come back to the gaming streams. You're around less and less. Come back and ask me there. Doesn't this show a form of big history? It does, yes. That's kind of the problem with big history too. $5, Holsteiner, thank you. I think that leftist politics will weaken our nations to the point where they will collapse back into barbarism eventually. Maybe, maybe not. I don't think back into barbarism. I do think there will have to be like a realignment of some things eventually, but barbarism? No. No, I don't think so. Greetings from an Icelander that just moved to Norway. You should go see Arch, dude. I really enjoyed the new video. Thought-provoking and fun, like almost all your stuff. Have you planned to publish a book? No. I don't know if I could publish a book, dude. Thank you, though. Lives in Dev's Walls, $10. Thanks, man. With the speed limit metaphor, I can't shake the vision from my mind of leftists like Vosh in the backseat saying, "Are we there yet?" on repeat while society threatens to turn the car around. Oh, God. That's actually really good. That's really funny. Oh, my God. Fucking hell. Yeah. The people who say the Industrial Revolution was the worst thing to happen to humanity, while they're like enjoying modern supply chains where all their food comes from and it's better quality food than before. They're enjoying the internet. They're enjoying video games and TV. Like, shut the fuck up. Get out of here. You fucking losers. There's no fucking way. Jesus. Alexander Bryant for $5. What did you guys think? What did you think on Brianna Wu's view on reparations? Aside from that, she's like a real reasonable and decent person. I don't like the idea of reparations. I don't agree with her on that. I do think, by the way, that reparations are reasonable as long as the person who is receiving the reparations actually suffered the crime, right? So, for example, if there was actually a black person today who was held in slavery within their lifetime, which isn't the case in America, but assume that it was, assume that slavery was only abolished like 50 years ago or 70 years ago. So you had like old black people today who were slaves when they were very young. They should get reparations, yes, because they actually suffered from that situation. But no, I don't believe that reparations are. However, if you were going to do reparations, what should come along with reparations is basically the idea that you shut the fuck up about race, like now and forever, right? Like you give every black American like $200,000 or like $500,000 or something, and then at that point, race is done. The race discourse is done. Nobody gets any sort of affirmative action. Nobody gets fucking anything. Everyone's equal. Shut the fuck up. The debt has been paid. If you're gonna do reparations, that's how you have to do it. Ooh, my phone's going off. Shut up. That's how you have to do it. $2 from Anatolipe the Greek. When are you gonna change your channel name? Remember I stop being lazy. $10 from here in Lady Columbia. Thank you. Another problem is that the left and right have fundamentals. That the left and right have fundamentally altruistic morality. That's more consistent with that. The right needs to address morals. I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know what you're getting at exactly. Coffees, baby. Coffees. Coffees are great. So anyway, fellas. Here's another thing. All right. I think the situation with Dead Domain made me realize that, like, leftist anti-capitalism, I think, is when I'm gonna stop being lazy. I'm not. When is leftist anti-capital, like leftist anti-capitalism is, I mean, it's wrong, right? The like Marxism is wrong factually, but it's more wrong now than it was when it was first theorized by quite a bit. All right, like I got to do a video on this at some point, but I looked up like, okay, this is hard. I'm going off completely off the top of my head. This is very new information for me. I'm still kind of figuring it out. You have left-leaning people who complain about the current economic state of affairs, and they say, the proletariat, people who work the means of production, the bourgeois, people who own the means of production, and the bourgeois exploits the proletariat by buying their labor, and they should actually own it. The people should own the means of production, and they have this like 1800s view of the economy that just isn't relevant. It's worse than if it was just wrong, right? Because like you could analyze the facts on the ground and be wrong about them, but you're at least analyzing the facts on the ground. These people aren't even analyzing the facts on the ground anymore. You know what I mean? Like how many factory workers are there, guys? Like how many people are working in like sweatshops in modern countries right now? There's not that many, is there? Like it's not the same kind of fucking thing as it was before. Like if you look at most publicly traded companies, who are the owners of publicly traded companies? You find there's usually other companies. Okay. And you start like going through the chain of companies, like who owns stock in what companies, right? And you discover as you get up to some of the big some of the big groups of people, or sorry, some of the big companies, like the investment companies, you get to a point where like you get to those names that right wingers make a lot of conspiracy theories about how they control the entire economy through the shadows, or it's like a cabal of people, right? Like crazy conspiracy theories. But like, I'm talking like Vanguard and BlackRock and guys like that, right? Not guys, companies like that, right? And then you look at those companies. It's like, okay, well, who owns those companies? Well, in a lot of instances, they own stock in each other. So like this kind of appears to be like a dragon without a head. Like where's the who owns this stuff? Like where is the member of the bourgeois that owns that? As you go through the chain of ownership, who's at the top? Where is the member of the bourgeois that owns it? And you discover actually that, okay, yeah, so sometimes they own parts of each other, so it's like, oh, there's actually no ownership, but there is still ownership actually. You discover that a lot of these large groups that are managing investments, they're owned by their clients. You know what that means? Yeah, I'll even show you. Okay, here, let's go to Vanguard Group. Let's go to the Vanguard Group. Okay, it's Dev. He's the top. Okay, check this out. I'll pull it up real quick. Vanguard Group. It is an American registered investment advisor, 7.7 trillion in global assets, and they own like tons of shares in almost every publicly traded company. But the owner down here is their clients. All right. What that means is that everybody whose stocks are managed by Vanguard are part owners of the company. Does that make sense? And Vanguard has something like 50 million people, not just companies, but individuals whose stocks that they manage. You know what I mean? So there are definitely some very rich people who are just nothing, who are like bourgeois fat cats who don't provide any sort of labor. They just sit on their ass and they smoke their cigars and they the Monopoly man, right? Guys like this. Okay? Those guys definitely exist, but they're the minority. You don't have 50 million of those guys. Most of these people are actually like middle class people. You know what I mean? Yeah. Vanguard is in a sense a co-op. Yeah. So it's not like the exact same kind of worker co-op that like leftists want, but it is a type of co-op. And what you realize is that like it's not a shadowy cabal of people at the top. It's actually just most people. It's just most people. Let me see if I can put it this way. I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, it's most people. It's most people. So you have let's say a person who's like middle class, right? He works at some company somewhere, right? And he's doing a middle class job, and maybe he gets some like benefits from the company that involve stock options, or maybe he like you get like 401k matching, but like a lot of that fund goes into stocks in order to accumulate more money, right? Or like he takes some of his money and he invests it in stocks on the side with like a financial advisor or something, right? In all of these cases, you have a member who is legitimately working class. He is working the means of production that somebody else owns in the Marxian sense. But he also owns, in a very abstract way, stocks that are being managed by Vanguard in a whole bunch of different companies. So he's both owner and worker in a Marxian sense. He works in one company while owning other companies. Do you know what I mean? And like this, yeah, they're pension funds and stuff, exactly. So like this idea is now completely outside the realm of any Marxist understanding of the economy. All right, this type of capitalism, Marx did not conceive of. He didn't understand it. It didn't exist. He has nothing to say about this. And when like leftists talk about socialism, and they're talking about the means of production, the working class, and all this shit, like they're so divorced from the current economic reality. They're so divorced from the current economic reality. Like they're out to fucking lunch. You know what I mean? Are you guys following me at all? And you know what? I think the reason why they tend to focus on very publicly available CEOs who actually do still own large chunks of their businesses, like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, is because they're public and they're easy examples of an old type of capitalism that is actually falling away, because most companies are now owned by a whole bunch of other companies and also by a whole bunch, millions of common people who all just do investment. They all just do investment. So they point at these like these celebrity owners because they're actually quite rare. There's not that many. Oh, none of you guys are listening? Oh, okay. I guess I'll just. Well, never mind. All right. Let's see. Where's the super chats? Let's see. I'm looking for them. If they want reparations, they have to buy into white culture. Oh my god. Also, we give them reparations in the form of food stamps, child benefits, and the prison cell. Jesus Christ, Holtznader. Holy fuck. Emperor Cretin, $5. Racism has to keep going, though, Dev. It's ever solved. How will half the world political class fundraise for the re-election campaigns? But up. Adherent to Lady Columbia, $10. A concept of objectivism is the stolen concept fallacy. It was when your opponent denies a concept but relies on you agreeing with the concept passively. Trust the science but ignore transports. I think I know what you mean, but I think that's too simplistic. I get it, though. I get it. Thank you. $5. Hold on. Tell you what, Dev, I'll tune into the gaming channel more if you have more streams where you get to talk about overarching political topics. I'm doing it right now. You fuck. $10. Highland Juggler. Thank you. Would you consider a video on assumption of maliciousness, i.e., because people living outside the norm are strictly treated differently? Anyone calling someone abnormal wants to hurt them. You know, there is definitely this assumption of maliciousness, and I see it everywhere on like both sides, on all sides. When most of the time it's not maliciousness, it's just incompetence. All right, most people aren't actually trying to ruin everything; they're just dumb. They're dumb and they have some power and they wreck things. Holtz and Air, $5. Out of curiosity, can you read Vanguard's mission statement? I don't know what it says. Vanguard's mission statement? Let's do a quick Google search for it. Okay. About us, Vanguard. Our core purpose is simple: to take a stand for all investors, to treat them fairly, and to give them the best chance for investment success. Sounds about right, yeah? $10, Tavashevenko, thank you. Hi, Dev. During the recent pro-Hamas protests, I've seen puzzlement or even dismissal by the dissident right of pro-Putin opinions among the protesters. Is there a round hole trying to be squared here? Yeah, kind of. The dissident right has the same blinders on as the alt left. You know, they don't get it. They're only seeing things through one lens. Wait, Xander Hall's on a one-man cancel crusade against Eric July. Oh, God. Stop reminding me Xander Hall exists, guys. Please. Please. Okay. Anyway, I guess what I was trying to get with all that stuff. Well, yeah, see, I'm not saying don't invest with Vanguard or anything, Murdoch. Like, I'm not saying like Vanguard evil. I'm not going down that route. What I'm simply saying is that if there are problems with capitalism, and there are, socialism is ill-equipped to actually understand them and tackle them. Socialists seem to be operating under a framework that is 150 years old, and it is no longer applicable to modern capitalism because things are done very differently. I just outlined to you how things are done very differently. I might have to do like a full video on this. I don't know if you guys seem like bored at this topic, so maybe I shouldn't do a full video on it. But maybe I should do a full video on this, guys. But like, yeah, I think the left is just they're just behind basically. Like the ways in which Marx was right are no longer applicable because he was writing in the 1800s and now it's like fucking 2020s. You know what I mean? It's just the socialists are not just wrong, they're wrong and out of date. While the problems that capitalism currently has they can't be tackled within a socialist frame. In fact, I think the big problem with socialism in the modern era is that socialism in the modern era exacerbates those problems, right? So think about it. If socialism is like workers owning the means of production, okay? Workers owning the means of production. Well, we currently have a whole bunch of workers who own the means of production by owning stocks through a giant group like Vanguard. They do own stocks of a company, therefore they own parts of the means of production at least. And as that situation has grown, and more of the average people do in fact own stocks in companies, you start to see some of the current problems that we have. So yeah, I don't think the socialist lens can solve the capitalist problems. I think the socialist lens exacerbates capitalism's problems. That's what I think. And I kind of got into it in the video, which is, by the way, the part that Dead Domain just didn't fucking understand. And I don't expect her to because she's a socialist. I don't think she understands I don't think she understands critiquing capitalism from a framework that is in the modern day and not from the 1800s. Political streaming is a zoo for unsmart people. That's why I'm here, buddy. Holtz $5. Wait, do you disagree that if you want to give reparations to people receiving them should abide by the rule of law and stop looting? Of course they should. Obviously, Holtz they should abide by it anyway. Yeah. Lady Columbia, I plan on solving racism via the Brazilian method. Anger the left by divesting via bleaching, anger the right. I get it. Yeah, in Brazil, they're just like, listen, we're gonna make everyone white by interbreeding with all the Brazilian black people and make them all white through like outbreeding them. It's like, damn, genetic imperialism. $10 from Willison about who owns BlackRock. So it seems that the evil lies within the banality of human nature, where we are frequently ignorant of the consequences of our actions. Oh yeah, so what you're talking about there, Willison, is moral hazard. Moral hazard is an economic concept where basically because you don't need to suffer the negative results of your actions, you can just perform them with impunity, right? This is the company poisons the water supply for their own profits and then kills a town, right? The negative consequence of their action is that the town dies, but they don't die, so they don't care. That's the moral hazard. And generally, in situations where moral hazards exist, it cannot be dealt with just through free market principles. It has to be dealt with through government intervention. Fading fast. Thanks for the $5. Looking forward to Crusaders 2, The Revenge of Thotticus's 18 charisma later this week. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be better than V. I'm happy we're finally doing tabletop again. I missed it. I missed everyone. I missed Regs. I mean, hold on. I still see everyone. Like we still play games in private and stuff, but like I missed doing this. Antilope the Greek for $5. Socialism, libertarianism, and all utopianism stems from childish naivete. Absolutely, yes. But yeah, I got to figure this out. You know what? I also think. Oh, thanks for the fiver. The biggest problem socialists make is they often criticize monopolies, but socialism is just the state becomes a monopoly for everything. It's kind of strange because like monopolies can be bad, but they don't have to be. Like anything can be bad, anything can be good. It really depends. Like you can't. It is good that the state has a monopoly on some things, right? Or at least it's better than the alternative. It really just depends what we're talking about. Here, I've been thinking of some things. This is an idea that I've only really considered today, and it's an idea I've only really considered today. So this is very unformed, but I think there might be something to it. Here, I'll bring in MS Paint. Okay, I think that in an indirect way, second wave feminism has made for second wave feminism has basically exacerbated income inequality across multiple generations, or has been one possible element in the exacerbation of income inequality. Which is very strange because think about it, like all the leftists, they love second wave feminism. Let women work in the workplace. So here's how it goes, okay? Here's how it goes. So before then, you had, let's say, here's a man, right? We'll go M. And here's a man, M. And here's a man, M. All right. And let's say this guy's a doctor. This man's a doctor, so he makes like $100,000 a year. And this man's like a lawyer, so maybe he makes like $200,000 a year, right? And then this man is like, I don't know, a factory worker or something, so he makes maybe $50,000 a year. Okay, makes sense, right? So now, back in the day, way back in the day, the streamer has put some thought into something when MS Paint comes out, I guess, yeah. So way back in the day, here, I'm trying to think of this. You have like the 1950s ideal of like women don't have careers. They have jobs that help the household out, but they tend to either meet their partner. They meet their partner in these jobs and then marry them. And then maybe they work part-time. Or if their partner is like an entrepreneur, they assist in their partner's business. You know what I mean? So let's go back to wait, which tool did I have? Yeah, okay, here. So now we have like women, right? Well, F. So the doctor, back in this 1950s idealized, right-wing idealized environment, the doctor generally marries like a nurse, right? And the nurse, let's say, makes half the amount of money, right? And then the lawyer might generally marry like a secretary in the firm who makes, also probably not nearly as much money, right? And then maybe if this guy is like a factory worker, maybe he marries a secretary. Maybe if he's like if he's an entrepreneur who owns like his own small shop, his wife helps him in the shop, so she probably also makes a lot less money, right? So each of these groups, they become households. They become economic units. Yeah, I know, it's an M from a Mario hat. So this economic unit has 150,000 to play with. This one has 250,000 to play with. And then this one has 75,000 to play with. So we have like obviously social stratification, right? But generally, this is a situation where like women married up and then took advantage of their man's success, and then men married down because they didn't care so much about money. All right, this is like the red pill view of the world. Okay, so this is how it was ideally back in the day. However, so here let's put this aside. Let's put this aside. Okay, so we have these guys, and let's make it small. Zoop, put it over here. Okay, so now let's say, but now we have a world in which women can have their own careers and earn their own merit. And by the way, that's a good thing. I actually completely support this. But let's see how it plays out in real life. So now we have a man. He's a doctor. He makes the 100,000. He is more likely to marry a woman who is on his level, who is a doctor, also making 100,000. Right? You understand? So now, this family unit, rather than being a doctor and a nurse at 150, it is now a doctor and a doctor at 200. Okay? Now let's see the nurses. All right? There are male nurses who make 50. There are female nurses who still make 50. They are more likely to also marry to each other as well. This becomes an economic unit that only has 100,000, right? You understand what I mean? So, by the way, red pillars say this doesn't happen. Red pillars are wrong. They're stupid. This does happen, all right? Even though women say that they might want to marry up, overwhelmingly most women marry men of the same social class as them nowadays. And the reason that that's happened, that change has happened, is because of feminism, right? Women are now marrying their economic equals, basically. Women are marrying their economic equals. So, this now that we have women who are economically on the same class as men, they're marrying men of equal class. All right. And so let's say that now we have rather than like upper class men marrying lower class women, now we have men of the same class marrying women of the same class. And what that means is that over the course of multiple generations of inherited wealth, this effect begins to snowball. Right? Does this make sense? Does this make sense, guys? Before, there were no male nurses, there were no female doctors, and male doctors married the female nurses, and so all the families were 150. But now that we've changed this dynamic, now we have some families at 200, some families at 100, and this continues over multiple generations. So now you have inheritance, and you have some families that will have more to give to their kids than others. Basically, even though gender equality is, in my opinion, a largely good thing, it has created an economic state of affairs where it's possible. This is just a theory. I don't know if it's true. It's possible that now that women are on the same economic level as men, they are much more able to accumulate and hoard wealth across generations by not marrying people who are poorer than them. Because before, women were always poorer than men, so the wealth always got shared. So I think, even though feminism is generally a leftist force, it has probably had some effect, some influence on increasing basically wage gaps across classes and wealth across classes. It has basically contributed to wealth inequality. But yeah, here's the thing though, Stug, you're right. Like, this is not a complete theory. This is just an idea that I've had floating around in my head for the past day or two. That's true as well, Sammy, is that wealth dissipates after 3 generations. That's true as well. So the issue then gets to a point where, but by the way, that's actually good. Like, if you're in like an actual functioning, churning economy, you do want wealth to dissipate and go back to the regular people. But for those whom it doesn't, for those who are like smart and keep their money, they seem to be in a feminist environment much more able to maintain their upper class status as long as they're smart about keeping their money across the generations. So, like, it's true that feminism has done a lot for equality and has emancipated a lot of women. but there are possible negative effects, like negative side effects, that I don't think you can just ignore just because someone calls you a sexist or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. Did I miss how many super chats did I miss? Let me scroll all the way back up. Thanks for all the supers, guys. $5 from Millicent. The solution then is to seize BlackRock, Vanguard, and foreign ownership of American land and property and resell them to citizens only. The thing is, Willison, is that a lot of BlackRock and Vanguard ownership is citizens. It's just many citizens, which is just what decentralizes the whole thing. Okay. 20 kroner. Thank you. Does Arch live in Oslo? I think he lives north of Oslo. Also, Dev, your thoughts and opinions are great and feel fresh in this day and age. Not always easy to share videos, but a book or an article from you could do wonders. Well, thanks very much. I don't know if I have it in me though, but thank you. Is there a way I can send you artwork for the D&D? Yes, DM me, of course. Lives in Des Walls, $5. The Cult of Black Cube is a grimoire implying BlackRock is owned, managed by a Saturnian cult, and X ran with it. I love quality schizo posting. Yeah. So there's this belief that like BlackRock and Vanguard are actually these like this cabal of people who are controlling society through like, you know, dimly lit, smoky back rooms. Sometimes the Jews are involved. That's not what's going on. What's going on is that it's the natural end result of decentralized, widespread ownership of property, which has its pros and its cons, you know. Paul Volp for $5. Capitalism is only as bad as it is right now because the government picks the winners and losers. First super chat ever, by the way. Well, thanks very much, dude. I appreciate the first super chat. Okay. Dev, look up Claudia Golden, winner of the 2023 Nobel Prize in Economics for studying the gender pay gap. Economics Explained has a good summary video. I'll put it on the list. Let's see. Claudia Golden. I'll put it on the list. Thank you. Thank you. Anything else? Let's see. Here to Lady Columbia, $5. I want to improve myself just for the pride of it, but also because, damn, dude, most Gen Z middle class men and women dress and act like schlubs. Yeah, I know, dude. I know. $5. Highland Juggalo. Wrong. We're the same class. Chase men of higher class. Okay, no. You're wrong, Hylian. Women of the same class. Okay, women of a class want to marry up. That's true. They do chase men of a higher class, but they very rarely get them. All right. Yeah, I know men marry for beauty. I understand, but no. Nowadays, like it is a red pill. It is a red pill myth. It is a red pill myth that that women always date up, even when they want to. They tend not to. They usually end up dating in their same class. $2. Women don't save money, Dev. They spend like crazy. Okay. Oh my god. You know what I'm talking about, dude. I get the joke, but fuck. $5. PC. Dev, can you layer in the fact that you'll have singles making more than couples from before and can put off marriage indefinitely? That's possible too, right? Like, if marriage is no longer a necessity, then they're going to wait for the right person for sure. Okay. Let's keep going. I'm still scrolling for all the super chats, guys. Can I pest you about a follow up on the Zoomer Tech vid? I don't think there's anything more for me to say, dude. Coming up with 40K in your last one, talking more about it. I mean, maybe, but like I don't know enough about 40K. That's more of an Arch thing, man. Like, look at this guy. You see, Killing Us Slowly says Jewish NGOs just push for mass immigration and open borders. Like, that's retarded, dude. That's retarded. I think the recent situation where millions of Arab immigrants who were brought in by Western governments and they're now protesting and they're screaming for another Holocaust against the Jews. I think that puts to bed the idea that the Jews secretly control everything, and that it's the Jews that brought in all the mass immigration. I think that idea is fucking done now, dude. I can't get on the Discord channel to DM you. Why not? Why not, dude? Hold on, dude. Hold on. I want to grab something real quick. Anyway, I've done my jibber jabbing at this point. You already have half of the women chat. These women still chase it for men, yes, but ignore the same level men. I don't. You know what? I do not agree. I have also seen the stats. I do not agree that they ignore the same level men at the same level as them. They absolutely do date them. Dev, the Israeli government has publicly stated they want to ship all of Palestine to Europe, USA, and Canada. Send it to me. Send me proof. Send me proof. Go. Show me the proof. As a Jewish person, I know many Jews that were pro massive immigration and got all shocked Pikachu face when the Arabs hated them. Yeah, it's so stupid, man. Thank you though. And yeah, Sammy, here's the thing. I'm making only an economic analysis, right? And I'm saying outright that it's not necessarily the whole story. This is just an idea that's been bouncing around in my head that I've been thinking about. I don't know if there's any truth to it. It's very possible, but it's also very it might just all be bullshit. I don't know yet. It's one of those things where it's like it sounds plausible enough that it could be a part of it, but maybe not. Maybe not. And like I'm not assigning blame to women or to the system or anything like that. There's nothing hateful here. It's just I'm trying to approach it with like a pretty detached way and just like analyzing what seems to be the facts. Okay. 80 is here to Lady Columbia, $10. You need to find a partner with fundamental values that have potential to build with. You need a partner that is basically going to have your back in a fight, but in the roles they are good at. I completely agree with you. Yeah, I completely agree with you. People who have written books on the matter. Dev, tell me about the books. Tell me about the books. Hold on, Arch is messaging me. Hold on, look at that. Okay. Sorry, I had to message Arch something. Okay. Yeah, exactly. It's complex. Oh yeah, I would say that like obviously in terms of what should you do? Should you look to marry up or marry down? No, you should find somebody that you love. All right, that's what it should be. It shouldn't be like an economic analysis. It shouldn't be like you should care about the person first. That's what matters. That's what makes life worth living. What I'm saying is, you take somebody and you put them in a room full of people, and they're all roughly the same social class. People are gonna like they're gonna pair off, right? Obviously, guys and girls are gonna start dating. That's just kind of how it is. Just how it is. And so, if you have instances where like the upper class never even gets to meet the lower class over the course of their daily lives because they inhabit different social circles, they go to work in different places, they shop at different locations. It makes sense that they would basically only date within their social class, right? Like, where is a guy like Elon Musk, even if he would be interested in like the perfect Walmart worker, when the fuck is he ever going to meet her? When does he go to a Walmart? You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, I think there's some logic of just the nature of how people interact with each other will lead to people who are of the same class dating within their class. Love doesn't exist. Yeah, it's so stupid. Okay, guys. Shall we get on with the news? If you don't mind. Where is it? Where's the news? By the way, please consider supporting the channel. Watch on Twitch or watch on Kick. Titanium just gave out gifted subs over on Twitch. Thank you. Very appreciated. But yeah, I am streaming on Kick and Twitch. So come say hello on the other platforms. Let's bump my other numbers up, fellas. Okay. Yeah, TF2 server, I know. It'll come. Let's go. Where's my news? Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go to the washroom real quick. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. How's it going, everyone? Oh, so yeah, what do you guys think of me just spouting nonsense for a little bit? I don't think there's much truth to it. Maybe it's a theory. You know what I mean? It's like a game theory. No, it's like it's. I'm not going to stake a hard position and say that this is how things fell apart. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying maybe. I want to think about it some more. I don't know. It's a possibility. And I feel like it's a possibility that people don't talk about because either they haven't thought about it before or because they're afraid of being called a sexist or something. I don't know. I need to think about it. Dev's rationalist arc, maybe. It's a hypothesis, not a theory. Yeah, I guess it's a hypothesis, sure. Anyway, I need to figure some more things out. I don't understand. Your theory leaves out a lot of factors. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's like it's the analysis of one variable out of many other variables. You know what I mean? Okay, here we go. Let's do some news. To say I was a stalker would be a bit of an understatement. Curvy transgender Smith Station Mayor Copeland wrote fiction about murdering real life local businesswoman and assuming her identity. So this is the headline article. And it's I don't know. I don't know. Recently uncovered information shows that Smith's Station mayor, F.L. Bubba Copeland, wrote erotic fiction about murdering a real-life local business owner to steal her life, as well as posting pictures of other locals with explicit commentary without their consent. I assume he would dress up as the woman that he murdered and then live her life secretly. Copeland posted at least 4 pieces of fiction to a website over time. After 1819 News spoke with Copeland, the profile responsible for publishing the stories was deleted. However, former posts can still be viewed online using software. In one short story, Copeland, who owns a local grocery store, wrote about watching women in the store security cameras and saving the videos for his private collections. In another long-form fictional story posted under Copeland's pseudonym Brittany Blair, the narrator becomes obsessed with a real-life local business owner, who he ultimately murders to assume her identity. Okay. Dangerous Obsession. Chapter 1. I wanted her life. Staring at her on the latest social media application, all I could think was about how amazing it must be to be her. Now I realize that no one's life is perfect. However, from all of her internet that she posts, she married due to something. She looked on top of the makeup. They censored some parts. I think she could grace cover of any magazine. She wore the latest and trendy boutique clothes and shoes, heels, ankle boots, thigh abuse. Fashion was her game. She was great at it. They were examples of the perfect American couple. Wish I could be. Sadly, as a 32-year-old male computer nerd, I was left with nothing more than my dreams. She posted a new picture. I was excited. Okay, the story. Does the story get spicier? Dude, I am like reading it, but it's just a fanfic. After dinner, I rushed home to devise and work on my plan. I knew one thing about myself. If I put my mind into something, nothing can stop me from making it happen. It was not going to be easy, but people transition every day. After a quick internet search and studying several Reddit messages, I found out how to purchase a feminization hormone regimen. Opening a secret file on my computer, I gazed at my enormous picture collection of her and began to take detailed notes on the girl I was about to become. And he begins buying the clothing. Let's see. The package arrived as expected, and I couldn't wait to get started. As my favorite quote goes, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Quickly I opened the package, spilling the contents onto the countertop. Organizing the 2 prescriptions into distinct piles, I examined what laid before me. An anti-androgen pill, and then okay, yeah, white fingernail color, okay. Hold on. Beep beep beep. She rolled over to the sound of her alarm, wiping honey-colored trestle, whatever, off her face. She turned over and banged the alarm clock, wishing for 10 more minutes. Lying there, thinking of all the things on her to-do list, at this moment she just didn't have the will to do it. As the cupboard rustled next to her, she quietly rolled over and slid her petite frame next to her husband. Rubbing the little hairs on his chest, she slowly worked her way down to his stomach, reaching into his boxers and finding the prize she wanted. Her husband's magic stick. I wonder, does she take a shower or a bath? Does she shave every day? Do her panties and bra match all the time? These are thoughts that plague my mind. Being a relatively good hacker, I had to figure out a way to install some code or spyware on her devices. Quickly scanning Reddit and a few other message boards, I found my answer. I could offer to build an app for her shop. I could suggest that it would be a way for her customers to access an appointment calendar and find daily deals on fashions from her boutique. By writing code, I could install a camera and location hack that would allow me and anyone that would download the application. Okay, oh my god. So yeah, this guy's Mrs. Doubtfire in a dark timeline. Thanks for the super chat, dude. This guy's fanfic is just how he wants to, like, take over her life and live as her. Okay. Okay. Standing in the mirror, I could tell a huge difference in my body. Between the weight loss and hormones, I was developing a great figure. I began yoga and light cardio to sculpt a more feminine frame. All my dedication had rewarded me with a beautiful little breast. I was now sporting a cute little B cup. Should I keep going? Here's chapter 4. Botox, fillers, tummy tuck. Hormones have been amazing. Okay, where's... I'm going to skip ahead to the end. This is from fictionmania.tv. Okay. I will pay you $2 to shut it. I'm going to find the murder part, and then I'm going to stop. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Chapter 11. I found the murder part at the end. It's time. Okay. Watching her walk around the top deck. Now was the perfect time to take over her life. I quickly removed the scarf covering my hair, which I had carefully put up in a fishtail braid just like hers. Then I removed the bulky, oversized sweater covering the exact size and style of floral romper she had on. Checking to make sure my stack of bracelets was all in place, I approached her. Hey, I said in my male voice. She gasped. She had just come face to face with her exact twin. Thanks for the $5 for continuing, dude. Will do. She had heard several times that everyone has one or two people that looked exactly like them, but this was different. This imposter had the exact same outfit on and even smelled like her. Head to toe, this doppelganger looked just like her. And she was scared. Paul regrets giving me money. I saw the bewilderment on her face. I spoke again in my old voice. Remember me? No, and why would I? Why do you look exactly like me? I'm Jacob Johnson, the guy that designed the app for your store. Sadly, there is nothing left of that man, just a carbon copy of you. The anger and uncertainty was evident on her face. Using my female voice, I said, I've spent everything I have in every waking moment becoming you. Seriously, this is sick, she yelled. No, mimicking her voice, this is the greatest compliment anyone could ever give to another person. For a moment, she just stared at me. Every movement of the head, I mirrored her. Every eye movement, hand motion, I followed her. It was almost like a game. But after years of practicing, I was a professional. You see, you could see she had become lost in her thoughts, so I decided to continue the conversation. Well, we have a conundrum. There can't be two of us walking around. So, with that said, I know you won't be okay with me having your life. So it seems like one of us has to go. What do you mean? She said with fear in her eyes. I said there can only be one. Fucking Highlander ass moment here. At that moment, I quickly grabbed her by the arm, guiding her to the rail. The loss of height and weight made me quickly realize that this was not going to be easy. Grabbing her by her left hand, $10 from Archmagus. Please stop. Grabbing her by her left hand, I had to get one last piece of her to complete my plan. Doing her best to fight me, I had to get her wedding set. Those 2 rings had become the object of my desire. It puts the lotion in the basket. Exactly. Like, so many trans people have been saying that, like, the whole AGP thing, wanting to become a woman, steal a woman's life, being weird about it, like that's all just transphobia. But here's at least one guy who fantasizes like that. Like, holy fuck. Okay. I quickly got the wedding band off, putting it in my mouth, not to lose it. I had to get the engagement ring. The 3-carat thing of beauty was all that I wanted. We both fell to the ground, rolling over and over, wrestling for the one thing each of us wanted. I am sure it was a sight to see, 2 beautiful women, looking exactly alike, flopping around on the ground. However, in the darkness of night, there was no one there but the 2 of us. Finally, the engagement ring slipped off her hand, and I placed it on my perfectly manicured hand. She was screaming, yelling for help, but with the sound of the wind and propulsion from the ship, no one was going to come. Quickly, I ran, grabbing her by her hair and the hem of her romper. We headed towards the rail, 13 stories up on one of the biggest cruise ships in the sea. We both looked over the rail into the darkness. Reaching down, I kissed her, enhanced lip to enhanced lip, and whispered in her ear, "Thank you for your life." No one heard a thing. As the real person hit the water, she was lost forever. Smiling, I looked around, searching the deck for any sign of struggle. With nothing, I rushed to the nearest bathroom to collect myself and check my phone. I looked at the beautiful face I had created and said, "Hi, I'm the woman. This life was all I ever wanted, and finally it was all mine." Hey, food shops! Listen here, food shops. I just read the fanfic. This person was cross-dressing, seems to be actually trans, but also, like, this person fantasized about killing a local business owner and then sculpting his body to look exactly like her and then taking over her life. And there was 11 chapters of a fanfic posted online describing his fantasy about what he wanted to do to this woman. Oh my god. $10 from Tara Shevchenko. Thank you. Has Morgan Freeman been contacted about the audiobook deal? Yeah, so like this is wild. This is like, I don't know if this person, like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know what to think. I know many trans people who don't actually want to kill and take the life of a woman that they know. But oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Oh, Food Chops wants to fight me about this. Why? This is crazy, dude. Okay. Anyway, there's a graphic description of the narrator seducing the woman's husband after fully assuming his female identity. It concludes with the narrator assailing the woman on a cruise ship, taking her wedding and her wedding and engagement rings, and then throwing her to her death. This life is all I've ever wanted, and finally, it's all mine. So yeah, the character in the story is a real person local to the area. Copeland's story names her and her local business in the story. Oh my god. 1819 News spoke with the woman who was distraught by the information. She said she was unaware of the story's existence but was close with the family. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Wait. Do you want me to read the sexy parts? Okay. I'll read the sexy parts. Hold on. Let's find it. I assume chapter 10, since chapter 11 was the murder. No, it's not there. Oh, God. Dude, chapter 9. I must take over her life and do it now. What the fuck, dude? This is fucking wild. Like, this is nuts, dude. Hold on, here. Wait, food shops, are you here? Where's the DM to food shops? Here it is. Okay, here. I'll give you this article, food shops. You can make your own judgments about this fucking bit of crazy, unhinged nonsense. Okay, no, we're not spending any more time in this article. Like, this is nuts. This is fucking insane, dudes. Oh my god. Let's just continue. Let's just continue. Okay, I DM'd you the article, food shops. Look at it. Let me know what you think. Okay. Oh, we're still in nightmare mode though. Woman obsessed with true crime dismembered a stranger out of curiosity about murder. A true crime fan in South Korea allegedly killed and dismembered a woman out of curiosity about murder after dressing up as a student and going to the tutor's home. Jung Yu Jung, a 23-year-old woman obsessed with TV shows and books about crime, decided to murder someone for real and conducted research about how to conceal a body. She used her cell phone and borrowed books from a library to gather tips for her crime. To find a victim, she used an app that connects parents with private tutors and contacted the victim by posing as the mother of a 9th grader who wanted to learn English. She told the victim her daughter would go to her home for a consultation. She then masqueraded as a student by wearing a school uniform she bought online and went to the woman's home where she stabbed her to death. Can you guys think you can save her? You guys think you guys think you can save her? Wait. The trans murder mayor killed himself 6 days ago. Oh my god. I will get that. I will get that. Hold on, real quick. I'll search that up. Yep. In order to make it look like the victim disappeared, she kept the victim's mobile phone, ID card, and wallet, attempting to commit a perfect crime. Yep. She had the body parts in the suitcase. She's walking around with body parts in the suitcase. Yep. She allegedly confessed to the heinous crime after police found inconsistencies in her story, and her family urged her to come clean. Wow. Why did she ask when she asked what she tried to claim, well, Jesus Christ, asked why she tried to claim the crime was a disappearance case, she said, I think I was out of my mind. She feels sure what she did. We are conducting tests to see if she's a psychopath. She is a loner and a recluse who has been unemployed since graduating from high school 5 years ago. Yeah. Full, like, hikikomori mode, dude. Full neat mode. Could you guys have saved her, do you think? Here. I got the update. Alabama mayor who shot himself dead after being outed for dressing as a curvy girl wrote erotic fiction about murdering real-life business owner and plans to steal her identity. Yep. He killed himself. Your whole tenor, $10. So, Dev, I've been doing a lot of thinking. I'm not sure I buy the born this way argument for gays. I think some people are more naturally inclined, but that social contagion can cause it too. Probably, yeah. But also, if you're not hurting anybody, who cares, right? But there's probably some truth to that, yeah. So yeah, he died by suicide after details of his alter ego, Brittany Blair Summerlin, were shared online. Yep, he posted that the Phoenix City pastor and also mayor posted photos of himself in women's clothing, trans porn, and erotic fiction in which he fantasized about transitioning. Yep, he killed himself. I'm not going to read it again, obviously. No, let's see. After Copeland's dual identity was revealed last week, he said he claimed he was the subject of an internet attack. The article is not who or what I am. I apologize for any embarrassment caused by my private and personal life that's become public. This will not cause my life to change. This will not waver my devotion to my family, serving my city, serving my church. He shot himself with a handgun following a slow pursuit by police after they were called to conduct a welfare check. So yeah, he killed himself. What a shit show. My God. Now, I want to make it very clear. This obviously is not all trans people, right, guys? Also, I don't even think it's most trans people. All right. This guy was exceptionally fucked up. Yeah, dude, that's fucking. I don't know. I'm just like black pilled. Jesus. Dev, my schlong might be magical, but I don't think it can cure all women. Okay, all right, dude. I wouldn't call it self-correcting. That's too mean, Paul. Calm down. Okay. Mother of schoolgirl Charlie Downs, who was murdered and minced into kebabs by a Blackpool grooming gang, reveals that she's still stuck in that day 20 years on. Holy fuck, there's a lot of murders in today's stream. Okay. Missing schoolgirl Charlene Downs. She vanished from her home 20 years ago. November 1st will mark 20 years since Charlene disappeared. But despite 2 trials and a lengthy investigation, including controversial claims that Charlene's remains were chopped into kebab meat, her final whereabouts remain a puzzle. Not a day goes by that I don't think of Charlene. I never sleep. I can't carry on with life. I am still stuck in that day. Jesus. That's brutal. That's fucking brutal, guys. God damn. Okay. Candlelit vigil. I have a candle burning in my window. Okay, but tell me about the fucking kebabs, though. That's wild. She would have been 34 today. Yeah. I lost my son Robert in December 2021. He was only 30. He never got over the loss of his sister. He probably killed himself. Jesus. I have 8 grandchildren now who bring me so much joy, and yet I can't help thinking how happy I would be if Charlene had her own children and what she would be like. Life is always what if. I have a 6-year-old granddaughter who really reminds me of Charlene, and it is bittersweet. She lives on through her, yet it's a reminder of what we've lost. To appeal to women, Weekly Sip is now true crime. Haha, fuck you. So they still haven't found any evidence, but I guess there was a rumor that she was turned into kebabs. It's brutal. Fucking brutal, dude. God, brutal. Oops. Oops. Oh, okay. Oh, we're still good. Hold on. Okay, fuck. Enough of this. Enough of this nonsense. What's this one all about? Suicide spike. Oh my god. Suicide spike in North Korea prompts Kim Jong-un to issue prevention order. Oh my god. It is now illegal to commit suicide. Can you, like... There we go. Fun fact. Cooked human meat smells exactly like grilled pork hot dogs. You probably eat human, not even realize it. No, don't tell us that. You fucko. God damn it. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has issued a secret order for local authorities to prevent suicides after data showed an increase in people taking their own lives this year. Wow. Suicides up 40%. Also, violent crimes are also on the rise. Kim defined suicide as an act of treason against socialism. Okay. You cannot kill yourself. You must suffer forever. Jesus. Tell me about the kebabs, though. Calm down, XQC. This isn't a Palestinian attack. Yeah, this is just retarded, obviously. This is just retarded. Okay. Fuck. I'm still like... Okay. We started off with like the most striking story, which was this one. All right? Right? Like, this is an insane fucking story. Okay? Like a crazy story. I want you guys to know, like, you guys all know Lilith. Even if you disagree with Lilith in terms of her politics or whatever, you guys know that like Lilith's not like this. All right? You guys know that Taftaj isn't like this. Okay? Like, I don't want you guys coming away thinking like this is normal even for trans people, because it's not. Like, this person's insane. This person was actually fucking like wildly delusional. Okay? I don't think every trans people out there wants to just like wear the skin of a cis woman, all right? You understand? I want to make that absolutely clear, fellas. This is not normal even for trans people. Why would you assume anyone would go to that extreme ever? Oh, Brian, like Brian, you're cool, right? Lots of the people that I recognize in the chat as being like consistent viewers, you guys are generally not like this. But I've seen a few fucking weirdos. Like here. This killing us slowly guy who mentioned the Jews like earlier, that it's all Jewish conspiracies. He just said Lilith wants to transition kids, so what? Go on. Go ahead. No, dude. No. Like, I miss Lilith a little. I hope she's doing well. I miss her too. But yeah, dude. Like, remember 10 years ago when trans people were normal? Yeah, I remember. Lilith is also Taiwanese, though. Oh, is that part of it? Oh, yeah, Supernova, you're definitely recognizable for sure. Yeah. And like, Brian, you're recognizable. All right? Like, Hylian, you're recognizable. Undead Ocarina Gamer. I recognize a lot of you. But like, there's a few people who are just saying some like weird shit. And it's like, what are you guys doing? Taftaj is currently vacationing in France, I think. Lilith, see here, like here, Killing Us Slowly says Lilith said on stream that he would support underage transitioning. Here's the thing, all right? If transitioning were the only treatment option, and we had perfect identification of who would have persistent, severe, lasting gender dysphoria for their whole lives, I would also be okay with those people going on hormones when puberty started. So like 12 years old or 13 years old. I'm okay with that. Now there's a lot of ifs, there's a lot of ifs in there, right? So we have to know that the dysphoria is persistent and severe, and we have to know that transitioning is the best possible treatment. But if those two ifs are hypothetically satisfied, yeah, I'm okay with a 13-year-old going on hormones. Yes. Yes. All right? And if that makes me too extreme or too left-leaning for you, even with all of those hypotheticals, well, I don't know what to say, but I'm not changing. That's how I feel about it. That's how it is. Void Spark says, we don't have that, Dev. That's true. We don't have that. So we need more data. Before I'm actually willing to sign on to that position, we need more data. However, I am not taking it off the table. Holtzaner for $5. I hope Lilith is doing well, but part of me wants her to be confronted by criminals and no one get involved because she took their side. What do you mean? What are you talking about? What the fuck is wrong with you? Just like hold on. Like Killing Us Slowly says, just transition already, Dev. Why? I'm not interested in transitioning. I don't have any gender dysphoria. Why would I transition? Like, what the fuck is this? What is this nonsense? What the fuck, dude? Yeah, we're not at the ifs yet, which is why I don't support it. But I will not take it off the table for some ideological reason. You understand? The subway guy. I don't know what you're talking about, Holzner. I'm sorry. Yeah, see, if Lilith is okay with transing kids without that perfect information, I don't think she is. I think whenever I've talked to her about this and we've like hammered down to the bottom of it, she kind of agrees with me. But even then, like I'm just gonna disagree with her on that. It's like, okay. Transition into a super buff, in shape, healthy guy, Dev. I believe in you. Is that so, Sammy? All right, Sammy. I'll send you my before and after pictures. Okay. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's continue on. Okay. Amaranth reveals that her beer company wants a pap smear to brew a new flavor. Vaginal yeast beer, guys. How, what do you think about it? The vaginal yeast beer. Oh my god. Let's act like the guy who killed the homeless guy in the subway in defense of it was in the wrong. Oh, okay. I haven't talked to her about that situation, so I don't know, but maybe I will one day. Maybe I will one day. All right, Sammy. Sammy, if I actually turn into a Giga Chad, I expect you to watch every single stream. Okay, let's go. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. I'm getting triggered. Hold on. Okay. Amaranth has taken the internet by storm with her hot tub streams, shock investments, and partnerships to sell everything from fart jars to bathwater. But here's her new product. She there's a Polish brewery called the Order of Yoni wants to use her for a new beer, and she's surprisingly excited about the opportunity. No. No. I covered on a Tubcast with her. Well, then didn't we get into a fight on it? And I was like, no. Okay, all right. I'd super chat $20 for every pound you lose, Dev. Oh my god. Sammy. Dude, I'm gonna lose like enough weight to get in like really good shape, and then Sammy's gonna start simping for me. That's how it's gonna be. I know that you draw those Adam and Sitch abs. I'm gonna be next. Okay. Hold on. Dev, do an Uncle Iroh transformation. I'll join you. Thanks to the $2 lives in Dev's walls. Okay, here. God damn it. Hold on. Food Shops is like spamming my DMs now. I'm trying to read these goddamn articles. Okay. Okay. The Order of Yoni wants to make Amaranth Vag beer. Okay, got it. All right. Saragusa has confirmed that she'll be working with the company to produce this beer, and they have a history of using model smears for quite a few years now. I'm actually working with a beverage company. It's not my own. I'm still doing that project. There's a beer company. They're European. They want me to send in my vaginal yeast. Like basically pap smear myself. They want to make beer using my vaginal yeast. Like the same profile, I guess. Would you guys drink the Amaranth Vag beer? Yes, no, go. $2 from Sketch. SFO becomes long, tan, and handsome. Okay. Thanks. Thanks. No, no. How much money would it take? How much money would it take for you to do it? Like, I fucking wouldn't. That's just, I don't even like beer. I don't drink alcohol. Yes, you did. You were on the other side of it. I don't even remember that, Holtznader. Not even a single yes. Okay, there's been so much Coomer shit in my chat over the years. When it comes to this, everyone's like, nope. Everyone's like, nope. Oh, someone would drink Dev's Smegma beer? What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, Dagoth will do it for 50. Nice. 50K. All right, that's enough of this nonsense. Okay. Girl, 9 years old, was accused of being trans at the Kelowna track meet. 2 Kelowna moms are speaking out after their 9-year-old daughter was verbally assaulted at a track and field event on Thursday at Kelowna's Apple Bowl. The mothers, who chose not to identify their daughter, mothers, plural, daughter, singular. Okay, so this must be like a lesbian couple that has a daughter? Okay. The mothers, who chose not to identify their daughter, say that she was competing in a shot put event when a grandfather of one of the other participants started yelling at her. She went up to compete for the grade 4 shot put final, and right before she went to throw, a grandfather of a student said, "Hey, this is supposed to be a girls' event. Why are you letting boys compete? My daughter is cisgender, born female, uses she/her pronouns. She has a pixie haircut." She said the man then carried on to demand identification to prove that her daughter was born female. He stopped the entire event. He also pointed at another girl who also had short hair. He then piped in and said, "Well, if she's not a boy, then she's obviously trans." Wait. Starr said that the man's wife then started calling her a genital mutilator, a groomer, and a pedophile. Jesus Christ, guys. Like, okay. This is rather ridiculous, isn't it? Like, I understand the whole trans sports thing. If we're talking about like Olympic level stuff or like high level stuff, completely reasonable. Completely reasonable, okay? This is 9-year-olds, dude. This is 9-year-olds, and a random guy shows up and says they're trans because there are girls who have short hair. They're just tomboys, dude. What the fuck? Like, this is actually ridiculous. This is fucking insane, dude. Like, it's kind of funny because of how stupid it is, but if you're taking it seriously, like, this is insane. This has gone way too fucking far. All right? It's I understand the concern at high level of play, but like it's kids. It's kids having fun. Like no, Will isn't got to stop the BS young. No, this is stupid, man. This is stupid. This is dumb. Yeah, this is unironic tomboy erasure, guys. Let the tomboys be tomboys. Yeah. calls the parents pedophiles, also prove that you're actually a girl. Like, what the fuck, dude? Only men have short hair, only women have long hair, them's the rules. This is what happens when you push this nonsense. This is the inevitable snapback. I mean, I understand, right? Like, this guy, this older dude, probably saw some fucked up shit on the internet, and some of it was probably true, and now he's reacting in real life as if what he saw on the internet is what's happening. But it's not what's happening. He's reacting inappropriately, all right? Like, the 9-year-old girl isn't doing anything wrong. Yep. The staff intervened and moved the shot put away from where he was. The gentleman was not part of our school district. We were taking steps to ensure he was not able to be on our school property or attend events in the future. The incident is totally unacceptable. Okay. Like, it's so stupid, man. Like, this is obviously like just look at this, right? Castanet. This is obviously like a local news page. So it's not like this blew up anywhere, right? But still, it blew up enough that somebody DM'd me this thing and said, you got to read this in the weekly sip. But yeah, it's man. I'm so black pilled on like the gender discourse. All right, because we watched that one TikTok where there was a trans woman who had like blood on her crotch, and she was throwing tampons at a crowd of children, and she was on a stage, right? And like that was heralded as like trans activism. Like, that's so fucking weird. But then on the other side, you have shit like this. You have like old dudes going after random 9-year-old kids thinking that they're trans. Like, everything's gone so far off fucking kilter. I hate the human race at this point, guys. I'm so done. Thomas, $2. Those words will lose all meaning like fascist has. Yeah, probably. Like groomer. Yeah, groomer means anything now. Groomer just means anything now, dude. Fuck. Okay. The Marvels struggles to take off at the global box office. Okay. This was just published. There's no spinning this. Disney's The Marvels is going to have a tough time recovering its massive budget in the theatrical run, which in all probability will likely conclude with the lowest ever global gross in the history in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The 33 overall film is the highest grossing film franchise of all time, and it delivered worryingly low figures both domestically and worldwide on its opening weekend. The Marvels made $47 million in its stateside debut, a franchise low, and added another $63 million from overseas territories, for a cumulative global opening of $110 million. This is significantly lower than the $455 million of 2019's Captain Marvel. And of course, you have the Avengers Endgame. Yeah, all this shit. Basically, after Avengers Endgame was done, nobody cared about Marvel anymore, and they're seeing that, right? Like, the last 5 MCU movies have only been like so. And the Marvels, no one's watching it. No one cares. You know what? I saw trailers for this. Like, when we did the midnight screenings videos, like me, Dave, and Naomi, we did the midnight screenings for Five Nights at Freddy's and I think one other one. We saw trailers for the Marvels, and the trailer was fucking god awful. Like, it was god fucking awful, dude. It's just full of like cringe modern day like references and music and just why okay. I have a feeling that like 2020, the 2020s is going to be a low point for art. I think it's just going to be ugh. Hey, wait. Those of you who are actually Adam and Sitch viewers, has Adam and Sitch actually begun yet? What's going on, Adam and Sitchers? Hollywood doesn't do women writing right? No, it doesn't. It's always like Mary Sue shit. Unironically, anime, despite being full of like big titties and ooh shit, anime does women writing way better. They're always 20 minutes late. All right. I'll read them after this. Then I'll read them after this. Why waking up early is rooted in white supremacy. Listen, all you lazy fucks who sleep in, it's okay. You're on the right side of history. The notion of waking up early and starting your day with the rising sun is often associated with productivity, success, and a strong work ethic. However, this seemingly innocuous concept is not without its historical and cultural implications. In this article, we will explore the origins of the early rising narrative and how it's rooted in white supremacy, contributing to the perpetuation of racial inequalities. Black people time is real. Oh my god, guys. Okay. The idea that waking up early leads to success in a disciplined life can be traced back to various historical and religious contexts. In the Western world, this belief has been strongly influenced by Protestantism and the Puritan work ethic, which has emphasized hard work, diligence, and self-discipline as virtues. This work ethic has long been considered an essential component of the American dream and the idea that success can be achieved through dedication and effort. The early rising ideology is not inherently racist. Just stop there. Just stop there. Everything else after this, however, is bullshit, and we all know it. Because black people can get up early and work hard, and it's fine, right? Obviously. However, its connections to white supremacy can be seen when examining the broader historical and social contexts. During the era of European colonialism and the Atlantic slave trade, the concept of hard work and productivity became intertwined with race. Enslaved Africans were forced to work tirelessly from sunrise to sunset, and their white oppressors often used the rhetoric of hard work and discipline to justify their inhumane treatment. This created a false narrative that Africans were inherently lazy and needed the civilizing influence of their white masters to teach them the value of work. This stereotype has persisted and continues to be perpetuated in various forms, such as the model minority myth, which suggests that certain racial and ethnic groups are inherently more disciplined and successful than others. This is all retarded, isn't it? Because, like, when you get, like, Asian people, right? Or people from India, or like Jews, right? All of these ethnic groups that are immigrants, they're minorities, and yet they have a culture of hard work that that doesn't come from white supremacy. It comes from their own cultural values. And to just like map on the white supremacist view onto their culture seems to be itself a racist act. Which is why, like, this is somebody who's very clearly very left leaning, and they're also very fucking racist. Let's see here. What super chats have we got? Thanks, fellas. Thanks for all the supports. Let's see here. Phil Swift, $5. Devkun, have you been keeping up with Dead Domain's response to your video? It's been hilarious. They don't bother actually arguing back. I talked about it at the start of the stream. Thank you, though. Old Snader, $5 again. Thank you. I wake up at 5:30 a.m. every day. This is why, if you want reparation, you need to embrace white culture. Things like hard work, save them for the future. I mean, if that's white culture now, but all right. The idea that waking up early is a sign of superior work ethic and a key to success serves to reinforce racial inequalities in several ways. For one, it places the blame for economic disparities on the individual rather than acknowledging the systemic barriers that hinder the success of marginalized communities. Shut up! All right? Listen, I hate this. It's fucking stupid. Even if there are systemic barriers that exist that fuck over some marginalized communities, even if that exists, the advice that you give to the individual is still the same, right? Work hard, save money, get educated, don't have kids outside of wedlock, finish school. Like, you give them all the same advice, even if they are at a systemic disadvantage, right? It's so like this is like toxic, all right? Like let's say you go to a black person, okay? And the black person actually is a victim of real racism, okay? The system actually is holding him down, all right? And you tell him it's not your fault. You shouldn't do anything to change yourself. It's all Whitey's fault, all right? Or you could tell him, hey, listen, yeah, life sucks. This isn't fair, but you know what? There is a path forward. You can do some hard work. You can get ahead, all right? Like it's nobody cares about your life more than you. So you got to be the one who puts things in order. And sometimes systems are in place that suck and it's not fair, but still, the solution for you is to shape up. It always is, all right? We can talk about like systemic solutions for certain problems, but unless it comes hand in hand with some sort of self-improvement ethic, it doesn't fucking matter. It just doesn't matter. Nah, dev bootstrapping is racist. Yeah, basically. Fuck. I don't think it's white culture, but they do. Yeah, fair enough, Alton. I know what you mean. And $20 from Food Shops, just supporting a fellow friend content creator. Well, thanks very much. Thanks very much, Food Shops. Listen, everyone. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been doing a lot of random talks on Food Shops' channel recently. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, it's not even on YouTube. What the fuck? I've been going on there and having like debates with her audience and like other nonsense. And it's been fun. It's been fun just hanging out. Even though every time we disagree that she's obviously wrong, right? That's just how it is. But I put all of the times I've been on her channel in my playlist called Other Appearances. So you can see them there. But if you want to see it, I'll post it here. There, that should be the link, hopefully. Because you simp for Food Shops? Yeah, sure. Of course. I think entirely with my dick. I said there's $2. Thank you. Win the trucker vid. Add a day, you fucker. Add a day. Is Food Shops our new daddy since Daddy Scrump divorced you? No. Lilith is still around, by the way. I've had enough of this nonsense. Let's continue on. Oh, what the? Why is everything like weird trans shit this week? I upload every single dev appearance. Food Shops, you're fucking milking, dude. You're milking. Tag off the dev. That's not a she. Listen, I understand what you're getting at. I get it. I get it. I understand. I don't like. Listen, I don't necessarily pick the stories. Sometimes the stories pick me. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Author comes out as transgender man after his wife came out as transgender woman, and the pair, who have a trans daughter, now live in a 4-way open relationship with their trans lovers. Guys, the trans polycule is real. Okay. An author has come out as a transgender man as after his husband transitioned from male to female, and the couple now live in a 4-way relationship with their trans lovers. So Rowan Jet Knox, formerly known as Amanda Jet Knox, announced on his social media he was reintroducing himself as a trans man. The Toronto-based writer and activist who started taking testosterone earlier this week followed the footsteps of his husband turned wife and son turned daughter. Whole family transed out, dude. So the husband turned wife, the wife turned husband, and the son turned daughter. Listen, considering how rare gender dysphoria actually is, there's no way this isn't social contagion. There has to be there has to be some level of social contagion here. Okay, like it can't be just that they all happen to suffer from the same mental illness. It can't be that. Yeah, I do not buy for it. Like when leftists say that social contagion doesn't exist, it's a right-wing myth and all. No, it absolutely exists. Not every trans person is like a victim of social contagion. There are definitely real trans people for sure, But man, trenders exist, social contagion exists. It's undeniable at this point. Like you can't fucking say otherwise. Okay, anyway. Here's the family. There's the 4 of them. Okay. All right. Knox's wife Zoe was previously known as Mark. He was transgender. Okay. The pair's daughter, she was transgender. Rowan says he was also born in the wrong body. Took a long time to come to terms with it. All right. So Rowan and Zoe live with their transgender partners Danny and Dame in the same Toronto house. So the 4 of them are in a relationship, and it's 2 guys, 2 girls who became 2 girls and 2 guys. Okay. I understand. Yeah. Okay. Fucking cancer, dude. Cancer. Resta Zero. Dev is not beating the Chaser allegations today. Why would I want to beat it? I just admit it, dude. Beckett, $5. Thank you. I demand unequal treatment regarding my Discord DM. Feature the next 2 TikToks I sent you in the next TikTok Tuesday. Okay, I'll do my best. Dude. I'll do my best. Okay. Wait, are Sitch and Adam finally going? By the way, guys, did the food shop links work anyway? I didn't even fucking notice. Here, listen, everyone. Here. Listen. Sub to food shops, guys, because she is the latest person that I'm grooming to become part of the fascist SFO harem. So click on that link. Everyone who's listening, go sub. I sent you a DM for you to read on your own time, not for the stream. Okay, I'll check it out, Holtznator. Thank you. Dude, thank you. Thank you, dude. Okay. R, Sitch, and Adam. They are live. Oh. That is why I've lost a bunch of viewers suddenly. I lost about 30 viewers. You fucks. The traitors are leaving. Purge them. Okay. Trans dudes are hotter. Like, God, fuck you. Listen, I'll finish up quick and I'll go raid Adam and Sitch, okay? Groom food shops to be Lilith's replacement. Actually, I'll probably do something with Taftage, I think. I will raid Sitch and Adam after we're done here, okay? When climate change melts your relationship. Actually, maybe I should be done like now and save this for next time, because Naomi did just come home. Adam and Sitch did start, so the stream is unfortunately going to be like slowly declining. Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe it's time. Plus, I do want to go and like re-upload the Brianna Wu conversation to my channel, because I think it was a productive conversation. Yeah, you know what? I'll save it for next week. I will always grumble about the fact that whenever Adam and Sitch go live, they slowly siphon my viewer base away. Those bastards. But here's the thing, though. Like Adam and Sitch, like I post videos all the time. I'm usually around more often. Adam and Sitch they stream like twice a week, so like their events are kind of like an actual like big deal, or at least more than mine, because I'm here more often, so I get it. But yeah. Well, and also Adam and Sitch are my friends. They're like they're good people in the end of the day. Lost another 30 since you noticed. Yeah, just how it is, just how it is. Okay. Thanks for being here, everyone. I will be making more content for you. It's coming. Now that big one has been squeezed out, that giant hour-long video about media analysis. I know that like Dead Domain streamed about me for like 6 hours and watched like a bunch like other videos of mine on her stream too. I don't know if it's worth responding to. If it is, I'll do something, but it's probably just going to be done. Probably just like a one-off thing. But yeah, let's go raid Adam and Sitch. I'm probably going to upload the Brianna Wu conversation tomorrow, and then maybe TikTok Tuesday, and then probably have some some main videos. Yeah. But yeah, you guys should check out the Brianna Wu conversation though. It is like, it's not like blood sportsy. It's like 3 hours long, but it was a good conversation. Okay. Yeah, it was like Food Chops. You watched my my 1 hour video about her. She made a 6 hour stream about me, going over a bunch of my content from like just like from the most bog standard socialist point of view. Like, it's capitalism. No, socialism is the solution. Like very entry level, like very entry level normie socialist views of like, it's the capitalist fault. It's the capitalist. It's capitalism. It's corporations. It's like, can you like be smarter than this maybe? TLDR, the Brianna Wu talk, she has been massively de-radicalized over the past 10 years due to multiple real life things. She's still very much a leftist. She will not vote for Republicans. She actually became part of the Democratic establishment, but she's not like a crazy activist anymore, which I can appreciate. Okay, let's get out of here. Good night, everyone. I love you.